Hello guys, today I'm going to be talking about how to buy a property. I'm going to go from the first steps to the last steps, so stay tuned. And after you're done watching this video, even if you never bought a property, you're going to know every single step from start to finish. So I hope you enjoy. The first step and the most important step is getting pre-approved. Without a pre-approval, most realtors are not gonna even show you property. And the only people that might show you properties are people that you already have a relationship with or people that are inexperienced. To get pre-approved, you go and speak with a loan officer. I don't recommend big banks. We all know what big banks are. I recommend local mortgage officers. Some examples are Total Mortgage, Altera Loans, and Lennox Mortgage Group. Those are just four that I can think of on top of my head. To get pre-approved, the two most important things are credit score and income. Other stuff is not really that important. If you have a good credit score, and you might be thinking, what's a good credit score? If it's your first time buying FHA, your credit score can be a 580 or higher. But that's just if it's your first time buying. If it's your second time buying, then I would usually recommend to have a 600 or above. If you have a 620 or above, then you're good. Getting pre-approved usually takes about 2 to 3 days if you're fast. If you take your time with sending the loan officer your documents, such as your tax returns, then it can take up to a month. It really depends on how fast you want to move the process. When I buy a property, I usually get pre-approved in 1 to 2 days because they ask for documents and I send them right back. The second step after getting pre-approved is to start looking at properties in that price range. After you get pre-approved, then we go to the next step, and that's when a realtor like me is going to start helping you look for a property. Getting pre-approved before looking for houses is so important because if I as a realtor go and take you to see properties, and let's say you're looking at $500,000 properties, but then you talk to the loan officer and you're only able to get pre-approved for $350, then most of the times, even when you buy a property at $350, you still have that idea of the $500,000 house in your mind, so you're not gonna be as satisfied. Also, a lot of people decide not to buy because of this reason. They start looking at houses that they cannot afford, and then when they get pre-approved by the bank, and they're told that they can only get pre-approved up to $350, then those people lose motivation. And that's why I'm going to continue to say that getting pre-approved first is the most important step and is the first step for a reason. It's gonna set you up for success. After we see properties and you find the property that you like, then I make the offer, I send it to you, you electronically sign it, and then I send it through an email to the listing agent. The listing agent presents it to the seller, and then if the seller likes the offers, then they sign it, and then the listing agent sends me the signed offer, and I send it to you and to the loan officer. This means we have a fully executed contract, and after this, the loan officer starts working on ordering the appraisal and doing what they have to do as the bank. After they sign our offer, then it's time to do an inspection. Usually, especially here in Connecticut, we get 10 days to do the inspection. So I usually like to schedule the inspection for 5 days, but we have always 10 days to complete it. The reason I like to be fast with inspections is because if there's a big issue with the property, then I want to back out the property and start looking for a new one for you. That way we're not wasting time. Also, a big thing with inspections is that there's always going to be a lot of small things that come up with inspections, especially in areas like Connecticut because homes are usually older. I bought a house recently and it had a lot of minor issues, but it's also 130 years old. So I expected it to have a lot of minor issues. Big issues that it doesn't matter how old the property is that you should not overlook is if you see cracks in the foundation. And I'm not talking about a small settling crack. I'm talking about a thick crack and that the property looks like it's slanting. That's gonna be a big issue. That's gonna be very expensive to fix, usually about $30,000 to $100,000 depending on how big the issue is. And that's why also I like to do inspections fast. If we get to do the inspection, the inspector's gonna tell us, hey, there's a big issue, it's gonna be very expensive to fix. We could tell the seller that, and then we could back out. This is also good for the seller because if they were not aware of this issue, they know that they gotta fix it, because nobody's gonna buy a property like that. And if somebody does buy that property like that, they're gonna buy it at a big discount, and we should call those people wholesalers or cash investors. The next step is to order the appraisal. Some loan officers order the appraisal right when we get the executed contract, and most wait until inspection to order the appraisal. In my personal opinion, it's better to order the appraisal after inspection, because after inspection, the buyer has decided that they're going to continue buying the property. Therefore, ordering the appraisal is not a waste of money, because if you order the appraisal before inspection and then the inspection goes bad, then that appraisal money is lost, and that's usually going to be around $700. Also, inspection is also going to be around $500 to $600. If it's a multifamily, it's going to be about $600 to $800, depending on how big the property. And if the property is less than 2,000 square feet, it could be as low as $400. At this point, most of my job is done. I showed you the property, I got it under contract, I was there for inspection. Now it really comes down to the loan officer. Now he has to get us something that's called the conditional approval. This means that the bank has conditionally approved the loan, which means that everything is going well in the loan process. You're still not done though. They're still gonna ask for more loan documents to get the clear to close. And the clear to close is what everybody is always happy to hear. That means that the loan has been fully approved and is ready to get funded. This is big because the conditional approval just means that everything's going in the right direction. But the clear to close means that your loan is done and cleared to be funded. After we get the clear to close, then I'll schedule the final walkthrough with the listing agent. Contact the listing agent, I'll let them know that we have the clear to close, and they will let me know what day I can go and do a final walkthrough with you guys. Now, two things can happen at the final walkthrough. Everything can look good, just like the time we went and saw the property, or maybe the basement is flooded, maybe the basement has a lot of water in it, maybe things got removed that shouldn't have been removed, and a lot of these things could kill the deal right there and then. But what also happens is sometimes we just ask the seller to give us more money or to help with the closing costs, and this way the deal can close and we get that money to fix the things that need to be fixed that we didn't know were there before we put that offer. After the final walkthrough and everything looks good, then we go with our attorneys and we get to close. You guys sign all the bank documents that have to be signed. Then the attorney is gonna send the money from his bank account to the other attorney, which is the seller's attorney. After the seller's attorney gets the money, then we get access to the keys, and I personally will hand deliver the keys, or if you want, you can go to the attorney's office and they will give you the keys to your new property. After you get the keys, then you are officially the new homeowner of that property. And I mentioned the attorney. You might be thinking, when should I get the attorney? Usually people get it right when they get the offer signed, but a lot of people wait until like 3 weeks into the process to get the attorney. And as long as the attorney does what they have to do in time, then that's all that matters. What the attorney does is they do actually a few things. They order a title search to make sure that the title of the house is clean. They also get you title insurance, just in case anything does pop up on title, then you're protected. And they also coordinate the whole process with the loan officer and the other attorney. So they do quite a lot, and that's what the attorney's job is. The video's not done yet because I'm gonna give you a quick rundown of all the costs associated with the buying process. First, the loan officer has to run your credit. They used to pay for this, but nowadays they're making the customer pay for this. So this is usually around $30. The second thing you pay for is the inspection, and that's gonna be from $300 to up to $1,000 depending on how big your property is. And it could go even higher. It really depends on how big the property is. For the average house, I would say have around $500 for the inspection. The appraisal is also gonna come out of your pocket. That's gonna be around $700. Now these costs sometimes are paid until the end, but some attorneys charge these costs up front. And that is the title search, which is usually gonna be from $300 to $400, and the title insurance, which is going to be around $1,000. My attorney that I use waits until the end to charge this money, so until the day of closing, but I have also used other attorneys that charge these costs up front, and that really depends on the lawyer that you decide to use. At the end of the day, it's going to come out to the same. They each charge the money at different time frames. Usually for closing costs, it's going to be around $10,000 to $15,000 for a house in the 200 to 600K range. If you're new to buying a house and you want to estimate how much money you're going to need, take the price of the house that you want to buy and multiply by the percentage of the down payment you're going to put, and add 10 to 15,000 to that, and that should be how much the whole process of buying the house is going to cost you. If you're going to buy a house in Connecticut, don't hesitate to give me a call, and I'm always here to help you. I'm going to put my number here. You can email me, send me a message, or give me a call.